From the bottom, we out here getting it. Don't know what a limit is. Only surround yourself with people you plan to finish with. Consistency the key, unlock the door to your dreams. Prepare, plan, and execute, complete, and then repeat.
Hate y'all niggas so much, bro.
What up? Back with another episode of From the Bottom Podcast. As always, we got your host Fitz. We got Ty.
Gang.
We got Shalisha.
Hello.
We got Tati.
Hey.
As you can see, we're all in one frame this week. So
Trying things out, switching it up.
see how that goes. Can you hear Shalisha good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
All right. How's everyone been?
I'll go first for the Brady Bunch.
All right, go for it.
Oh man. Things have been stressful a little bit, man. Trying to get everything in place for the move. Trying to do some things in my car. I'm about to upgrade, get me a big daddy truck, you know. So trying to work on that, get that put together. Trying to find a place. Got the job secured, sign on my paperwork for that. Yeah, just trying to make some moves. Probably finna go back to school in January. Finna get another master's in counseling.
Okay.
So I'm finna do that because I gotta wait 2 years to get my license, my licensure. So I'm gonna do that while I get the license, and then after that, be able to do what I want to do. That's it so far, man. About to graduate next week, or not next week, the week after. Classes are done next week.
Hey,
And
congratulations. It's been a journey.
boy, what? You know how many times I consider quitting? I had to call Fitz plenty of times. Like, man, I ain't trying to do this no more, bro. I'm finna quit.
For those of you who don't know, Ty comes from a small village in Florida. One shack village, no electricity, no running water. And so he's made it pretty far.
Yep.
He's the first person in his lineage to grow a goatee, so we happy about that. we rooting for him.
Come from a small city. Small city.
Yep. With what did Trump say? It got hit by a little hurricane.
Yep. He said a little baby hurricane. It was a category 5. Dumb.
Just a little tickle, little touch.
Destroyed it all, bro. But nah, man, I'm good, man. Just trying to keep the balance and not worry so much. Everything will work out the way it need to work out. So this move is definitely gonna elevate me the way I want to. So I'm good.
Yo, can you tell Tatiana to stop smiling?
Tatiana smiling hella hard. She happy for me, bro. Let her be happy.
And I don't know what this smile means. This is like a purge smile.
She excited for me, bro.
She ain't excited for you. She's getting ready for Halloween. She a jack-o'-lantern.
Nah, I'm excited
That was called-
for Ty.
You excited for Ty?
I'm glad he graduated and everything going good. He getting ready to go on and move on up in the life.
That's good. Glad to see that you're over the orange juice crisis and
hey, bro, nothing will ever top you kicking that door open. Nothing. Nothing I did, nothing anybody else did.
Right.
You kicking that door will forever be the moment as long as we live.
Almost lost all our deposits, right?
No, that would have just cost me my deposit.
Almost lost your deposit.
All I heard was Butterfingers, and next thing you know, Superman, boy. You would have thought he was Soldier Boy.
Hey, the important thing is that I made it to class on time. That's what's important.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You able to focus?
Yeah, I was cool.
Oh, but you kept the door open.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also going to sit down for my test in Colorado as well.
What test?
My licensed clinical social work. So I'm able to sit down for it and then pass it and then do my hours and then I'll get it after I'm done.
Dope.
Nice. All right, you got to control yourself. Come on. That don't look creepy.
Nah, she just happy, bro.
I like the smile.
I liked it better when she was pouting. At least it was like neutral. This looked like a mug shot that you see.
What's up? What's up with y'all, bro? How y'all cohabitate?
good.
What's up?
We good. Outside of Tatiana looking like she just got Botox in her cheeks. We good. I'm good. So I do got a story. I know last week on the podcast I was talking about a client of mine had a conspiracy, and I turned it around because she be trying to take credit. Whatever's gonna happen was gonna happen.
No, we did that.
Nah.
Oh, there's a we.
I've been working with this dude for months. I went there.
And then I showed up and bam, deal closed.
Nah, we done had deals closed. See, this is what I don't like. I ain't bringing her nowhere no more because I worked on them deals for months, and people be coming through like this.
Sometimes it just needs a lady's touch.
Nah, it was gonna happen either way. I was just, hey, you want to roll?
No, it was a great experience though, but he really did. He did great. I'm so excited for him. He did that thing. It was good to see him in his little element and doing that. So hats off. But I was a great pep talk to you because you was low key tripping in your mind.
I wasn't tripping. I was gonna do the same thing.
What if this and what if that?
But my behavior wasn't changing. I wasn't saying what if. I was just saying this is what he be doing. This is what this client does. It's like, somebody that's always late. You like, okay, I'm gonna expect this, and this. They probably gonna be 10 minutes late. I'm gonna go over here and get, stop and get some gas because I know they're gonna be late. It's that type of thing, but I'm still gonna show up. It's not like I was like, I'm not even gonna write the offer and do this because he gonna do this. It's like my behavior wasn't changed. It's just like
he did it. It was good.
But I just want to say, people out there that think that it's over because someone says it's over, you just have to keep going because he was ready to switch to another real estate agent, and I just showed up at the property and FaceTimed him, and he ended up writing an offer on that property and got accepted. So had I not have done that, I would have been chilling at home, and some other real estate agent probably would have been making money. But I showed up at the property, FaceTimed him. He didn't even know I was going to FaceTime him. I just showed up, FaceTimed him, and got it done. So,
Thanks.
Good job.
How have y'all been?
I've been great.
Outside of finding pots of gold and stuff like that, how have you been?
What that got to do with anything? I've been good. I am adjusting to the big move, getting all my little ducks in a row, stressing. Trying not to stress, but it don't really work. So we gotta find something, Lord. Oh, Lord, I don't know, something.
She capping out here. She capping. She gonna talk about. Listen to me, right? Listen to me.
Hot. I got a thyroid problem.
Okay. Listen to me.
Put that out there.
She, on multiple occasions, keeps asking me to get in the car with her.
No.
While she risks having a mental breakdown.
Did nobody say having a mental breakdown? This is exactly what I said. I have been in car accidents before. So driving in new places is, sometimes it's nerve-wracking. It stresses me out. I get anxiety. People here do not know how to drive for the life of them at all. I don't know the streets. How they name the streets, their street signs is completely different from what I'm used to. So it's a whole new environment. So I just simply asked him, if you got somewhere to go or I got somewhere to go, ride with me in case something does happen or I get freaked out and I don't want to drive. I don't feel like anything was wrong with that. He talked about so what you gonna do if you have a nervous breakdown? I'm like, I'm not saying I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown, but if I did just so happen to have one, you could drive. And I wouldn't be stranded having a nervous breakdown. He won't go for it. And
how do I know if we would be
I got lost for a good 15 minutes and I wouldn't have been lost if he was in a car. So I'm saying.
Listen, how do I know that nervous breakdown wouldn't have happened when we was going 65 miles an hour?
Because I told you it's not like that. And I specifically told him if I just felt like I didn't want to, I felt uncomfortable driving, then we would switch seats and you would drive and then I'd be in the passenger seat. I even offered to drive my car. I even told him we can go together when he got somewhere to go, take my car, I drive. He gonna talk about stuff. What if I gotta be on time? I said, I'm on time. And he was down. And I'm like, nobody's saying that.
I swear, bro.
What if you went in for an operation? Doctor's like, I'm nervous. I don't know. I may have a mental breakdown, but we got a doctor right here that could take over.
I didn't say nervous breakdown.
What'd you say?
Nervous breakdown. I said if I get nervous or have a panic attack.
That's a nervous breakdown.
No, it's not. A nervous breakdown is like you just.
I mean, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn eventually, because like.
Yes, learn, but it's good to have that comfort. If I
not really, bro. When I was in Germany. Germany has no speed limit. Didn't know the language, and we get on the Autobahn, and everybody's doing over 100. I had to learn real quick.
No.
Yeah.
So you just gotta learn. And then I drove in Colorado and Texas.
Roundabout again.
California was crazy.
Yeah, I got in a car accident in California because somebody ran a stop sign and rammed into my car.
Bro, you can't drive no more speed limit in Cali. You have to drive fast. Bro.
I drive the same.
And say, nah.
3 accidents.
Hey, in San Francisco, bro, you gotta drive.
Yeah,
you gotta drive fast.
How to drive? Texas.
Oh,
Lord. The trucks in Texas really don't know how to drive. They really don't.
Where have you lived where you've known someone that knows how to drive?
No, Vegas can't drive. Texas can't drive. California cannot drive.
California can drive.
California's
some of the best drivers.
No, California has a term called California roll, where they literally don't stop at stop signs. They just ease up to it and then just keep going.
I mean, I do that.
Okay, after looking,
you gotta look.
That's not the law.
Ways.
Okay, then no one say I was breaking it. I'm just saying.
People retake the driving test, but the actual driving portion test, not the
same with Chicago though. Chicago the same way, but like I was scared to drive downtown for the longest time because I ain't know how to drive. So eventually I started going. I rode with people down there, but then I started driving by myself. And once I drove by myself, that second time I was comfortable after that. So you just got to take your GPS, put it on like the little thing on your car, and
got me lost. Okay, so they have street signs, and if you go one way this way, it's a different street. If you go another way this way, it's a whole different street. But not every sign tells you the different streets. It'll have one name, but it don't have both names. Robert said you just gotta look. But I'm gonna take you to the street, and it did not have the other street sign, and that's how I got lost.
We'll check back with you in 6 months.
Yeah, we good.
She gonna be like, I drove here and
right.
I drove to the car wash.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get you a bike.
It was 8 minutes away. We did that.
Well, we're making progress. Let's get into this topic today.
I'm doing all right.
Oh.
I'm feeling fine today, but I'll leave it at that.
How you do it? Cheers. Find that cup, girl.
She's sipping on lean.
It's a double cup.
It's in my cup.
You doing
good?
I've been all right. You
look good.
Thank you.
Glowing.
Wow.
Look rested.
Yeah. Go ahead, show that smile. There you go. I was waiting for it. There you go.
Looking like a fluorescent light bulb. Tatiana looked like a burnt out fluorescent light bulb.
We're so cold I could put it in my cup.
There you go.
Oh man, y'all funny, bro.
Yeah. I don't. She spits bars.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But to this topic though.
Let's get into this topic. All right. Well, let's get into this topic. All right. So last week, Ty and Shalisha got into a little bit. I'm gonna be transparent about this topic.
We didn't get into nothing.
He said some things, she said some things, but they eventually resolved it, came together.
Oh.
like good co-hosts do. They got into it. Shalisha cussed at Ty a little bit. I'm gonna be real. Said some stuff about his hoodie, said it wasn't iron. She was going in. She said he need to run it on.
He was lying. I don't be cursing at everybody like that. I didn't say a curse word this time.
Do we have any viewers international? Drop a comment in the comment section repping
international viewers. I don't be cursing at everybody like that. He's lying.
Just make sure you
He's
hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button if you believe me, because make
sure you subscribe if you believe me, because what I got to laugh of.
Well, make sure you comment.
Okay.
Well, make sure you hit that bell that reminds you every time we drop a video if you like my smile.
There you go.
We going off air.
There you go.
we gonna have dentists everywhere rioting.
Hey, no, they not. They gonna be like, what y'all doing over
there? Hey, bro, chill out.
Okay, let me tell the story because the people want to know.
Well, no, because you're not gonna tell it, right? So I gotta tell it.
Okay.
What had happened was we were talking about the topics for the podcast, and we wanted to switch it up to where everybody each picked a topic for the podcast. Coincidentally, I have been the only person who has not yet actually picked a topic, but I've given my input on multiple topics. Okay. So I was told to pick a topic for the podcast. This conversation happened right after the last podcast. And I was like, all right, bet, I got you. But give me a day to think about it so I can come up with a really good topic for the podcast. And instead of just simply giving me my day, letting me collect my thoughts and come up with a fire topic, they're going to talk about some, never mind, we're not going to do it. Ty go pitch topic, and then Ty picked the topic.
That is not how it happened.
That's how it happened.
It was not.
Wait. And then I got in my feelings, and I was like, I'm not picking a topic for the podcast again. Don't ask me for the topic.
She leaving something out.
What?
I said,
oh gosh,
anyone pick a topic, and Ty had a separate conversation with you, and then he threw out a topic. I didn't say,
it wasn't
okay,
a separate conversation.
Ty, you pick
it.
it.
Having the same conversation.
Ty just threw something out there, and we rolled with it. You know, we was like, hey, where you want to go eat? And you like, I must decide tomorrow. And Ty said, let's go to Applebee's. Okay, let's go to Applebee's. What
talk about.
And then we went to Applebee's.
Everybody want to go to Applebee's.
Hey.
I'm just saying, they want to go to Texas Roadhouse.
Well, that gets us into the topic.
And get that bread with that butter sauce.
That gets us in the topic.
Been to Texas Roadhouse?
That gets us into the topic. That gets us into the topic, which is sometimes it's not about you, it's about the goal. Jeez. Right?
That was the topic.
Yes. It's not about you, it's about the goal. And with Ty, he came up with this topic. Some people do too much and some people don't do enough. And I was thinking that has to do with, you know, the people that do too much, they're about the goal, but they detach themselves completely from the goal to the point to where they aren't able to reel it back in, and they don't see how it's affecting their life and their personal relationships and stuff like that. And then people that don't do enough, they're detached from the goal as well, but they're making it about them too much and not about the goal. So I think in both ways, you're detached from yourself and the goal. But I think one way you're more detached, and then you're more detached from the goal, and one way you're more detached personally. And that's how you get those two polarizing perspectives. What do you guys think about that? Like separating yourself from your goal and finding balance.
Yeah, I think like getting out the way. So when I brought up this topic, I thought about school, for example. A lot of my peers and my professors, you know, a lot of the times I do the asynchronous work early, get it out the way, you know, but then each week the professor will push it back for other people because they wasn't doing enough to get it done. You know, yeah, people got kids, they got a job, you know, all these other things going on. But my thing is, you know what you signed up for. So you're in the way of meeting that goal because you're like, oh, well, I can't do this. Even though the work is not that many points, at the same time, it's more about you getting it done and completing it. So I felt like sometimes I was doing too much because they was always pushing back assignment dates. Well, you don't have to do this, do that. And I'm like, all right, turn that in like 3 weeks ago. Like, y'all tripping. Like, here's my stuff. But also with the same with moving and stuff, you know, I always feel like I'm never doing enough. Like I feel like I'm doing too little. There's always something popping up, getting in the way. So I definitely think having that balance is good. I think about being prepared, but not overly prepared to where the pride and ego take over, and you don't want to change something to the plan.
What do you two think? And I think Ty touched on important subject, which was ego. What do you guys think as far as, you know, having that balance with separating yourself from your goals just enough so that you can have some balance to see what you need to do?
I agree. I had to learn that before I came here. I was doing all-nighters. I was stressing myself out. I felt like I was delusional. I had a conversation with Robert. He said, if you feel like you go get in the car and crash, why would you get in the car?
And they want me to get in the car. See that?
No. That's two separate different topics. But I had to learn that the hard way. It's good to, you know, want to attach yourself to that, to be like, oh, you could do it, make yourself proud or whatever. But that balance is a good thing, because if you're not giving yourself that time, you know, just for yourself, no matter what it is, and that mental break, then you're just going to get burnt out. And then you probably won't finish, or it'll take you longer to finish what you started, just because you can't really put your all into it if you're not all the way there in all aspects. So
I would like some clarity on the topic. So are we talking about the crossroads between self-love and self-care and getting things done?
I would say that plays a part in it. You know, like the topic is people who do too much versus people who don't do enough. And I think self-care plays an important role in both, because if you're doing too much, that may affect your personal life, your family life. If you're not doing enough, that could still affect your personal life and your family life and whatever else you have going on, your dreams, aspirations. It's just trying to find a balance in determining what's too much for you. And I think that's important, is like relativity. And that's where setting goals, I think, can play an important role, because then like, I just don't think people take enough time to measure or like understand what it is that it actually requires to get what they want. So they're not starting off with enough data to be able to judge what is enough and what's not enough. And then the people that play it safe and they don't do enough, then it's like, oh, that was too hard. And the people that do too much are like, oh, I feel burnt out, because maybe they didn't know that, okay, this is too much. Or, you know, you didn't need to do all that. It's like a sprinter, they done passed the finish line, but they run another 3 laps. Like, you didn't have to do all that. The race is over, you know?
Okay.
Does that help?
So self-care in this situation would prevent you from burning yourself out and doing more than necessary, but at the same time would make you aware that you need to increase your input towards what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so it's about finding that balance.
Exactly. You know, like I think I don't know if I shared this story, but they said when the rocket ship that went to the moon, that it was off track 95% of the time, but there's a device in the rocket that adjusts and puts it on the right direction, and that device was working 100% of the time. And that's what you have to have in your life, is that thing that says, oh, you're doing too much, let's pull it back, or you're not doing enough, you need to go forward. But that requires work. Okay. And that requires balance, and that requires you to be constantly like, not just, oh, I wrote my goals down for the week, let me think about this in a week and see if I did everything, but visiting your goals every day, thinking about what it is you want, working on yourself, like fine-tuning things. Like I run ads on social media and stuff, and it's constantly like optimizing it to, you know, show these people this ad and making adjustments. You know, like a plan is just to get going, it's not to finish. And I think that's where people really mess up, with not having that balance between self-care and, you know, goals and stuff like that.
I would say I need to work on that balance. I think sometimes I can be off course, a lot. And I do need to find that machine that keeps me on course when I do get off course, whatever that machine may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta find that sweet spot. Like for me, I'm on a roll right now with school, finishing that. We did that, and then taking a little break, and then doing something else with school. But working in between that and just getting that self care in, and not feeling like I'm doing too much, but I'm doing enough, and I'm telling myself that's good enough instead of saying, oh, it's not good enough that you just got a master's. It's not good enough that you just got a job. Like it's good enough because it's still keeping the ball moving, and that we're still going at a steady pace. We're not stagnant. We're not going too fast because I don't want to go too fast and then miss everything in between, or go so fast that I crash and then I didn't meet my goal, or I met my goal, but then I'm unhappy with it.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I was reading a book, and I think I read this morning or this afternoon as well. It was talking about wealth, talking about how wealth is hidden. And that got me thinking about this topic and how, usually our goals and our dreams, they're hidden from the world. So a lot of people that think they're doing too much, they may not actually be doing too much. It just looks like they're doing too much to everyone else, or they haven't found an efficient way to do what it is that they want to do. So the perception that they're doing too much is not that they're not doing too much and achieving anything. They're doing too much because they don't know what to do necessarily so that they can compact it. Like when you first start a job, you want to, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But then when you're there for a while, it's like, okay, I can actually knock that out in 10 minutes if I really wanted to. It don't take no hour to do that. And I can do it this way, this way, this way. Like as you're in it more, you learn better ways to do it. But I think people don't stick with it long enough to be able to make those adjustments so that they can determine whether they're doing too much or too little or whatever. Like there's no testing period. And I think a lot of people are just afraid to step into that testing period.
What do you guys feel like the biggest, what's the biggest thing in your all's life right now that you don't do enough of? Or like if we're talking about entrepreneurship or business wise, what are you not doing enough of, or what are you lacking on?
Following through on my goals.
Small goals or long-term goals?
Small term.
I would say for me, it would be I guess I've been focused on trying to do too much to try to save money, but now I'm more so focused on, like, what does it require in order for me to get where I want to go to, and then just do those things, like simplifying everything. Like if I have to spend money to do that, then that's what I'll do. Instead of me taking weeks to learn something and then trying to do it, I want to just focus on what I want to focus on and not have to do all these other things. So now it's about, putting money aside for bills and stuff. And then that money that's over here, that money is just like, that's for me to invest into my business. And that's what I'm going to do. Like, it's not going to just be me trying to do everything. I'm going to start actually, hiring people, like subcontracting jobs out to get things done so that I can push things forward. So just being more strategic and follow through, like Tatiana said.
That's good.
I feel like mine is finding the balance, because I feel like I just was like, ooh, we're going, and just dove straight into a pile of stuff that I wasn't necessarily prepared for or ready for, which causes me not to be able to focus in areas that I need to, like as far as my coursework goes and these tests. It's like, okay, this stuff, but you're really not focusing because you're trying to hurry up and do it instead of just getting it done. retaining everything, passing it, and then just being on the way. But I feel like I do put a lot of pressure on myself also, which is something that I have to work on, just finding that balance. Oh, and stressing, because ain't no point for me sitting there reading the classes and stressing if I'm not going to be able to retain information. So,
Right.
I don't think Shalisha's giving herself enough credit.
oh, really?
Yes.
Why?
And
Why you say that?
here's why I say that. Because I think it's a untapped superpower that someone can just dive into something. It may not seem like it at the moment, but that's actually why a lot of people don't get what they want out of life, is because they don't know how to just dive in and then learn how to swim. And I think that, you know, overthinking can hold people back as well. And that's something that held me back. And it wasn't until I dove in and actually trusted myself that it was like, okay, I can actually handle this. So I would say, like, just from an observational standpoint, you know, if you're diving in at this level when you're like starting out at the bottom, imagine what it's going to be like diving into something when you have more stability. It's like nobody's going to be able to touch you. You know, like, you're going to be able to make decisions and do things that other people are afraid to do because they're so worried about protecting their money and protecting this and this and this. But you know what it's like to not have, and you're cool. Like, you know, life will still go on. And that's what's holding a lot of people back. Like, a lot of people wouldn't have just up and moved to Texas and done the real estate thing and all this stuff. They would have been like, well, let me see, da, 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 da. But when you trust yourself and dive right in, I think, like, I wrote something down earlier, and it was like, a lot of people love making the goal more than they love achieving it. And it hit me because it's like, you see all the people writing their goals, but I don't see people achieving them. And it's like, I think you have to love achieving your goal more than writing it. In the same way, if you have a kid, you have to love raising the kid more than you love making the kid. You know, like, it's just, it's simple. You know, like, you have to love what you're doing more than what you talk about doing. It's like, and I feel like with Shalisha, she's more in love with, like, achieving it than she is about talking about it, because we all see where talking about something gets you. It doesn't really get you anywhere. At some point, you have to make a decision. Life is full of talkers, but life is not full of doers. And when you just dive in, I think that that's actually what separates great people from people that are just average. You know, not saying just dive into anything, but trust yourself enough to know that when you do dive into something, that you're going to be able to come back up for air and you are going to make it through it. And I think that's a hidden talent that if you have it, you just keep pushing forward with it. Because a lot of people are just so scared to do it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think the biggest part is writing it down. Because I've done that too. I wrote stuff down on whiteboards, on pieces of paper I probably don't even have now. Know where it's at. But I've completed everything on my list that I wrote down. So I talked about it. Obviously, spoke it into manifestation and all that. But then, without even, like, since I wrote it down and made it a goal, the action just came so easily. There was no like, oh, I'm applying it, I'm finally doing it. It was more of just doing it. And then when I got to the end, I was like, dang, like, I really done made this happen. Like, we finna graduate with a master's, bro. Like, I never would have thought in 20 years I'd do that at all. Never. Didn't have plans to do it, and now we here. So it's definitely like a reflection. I'm over here like, wow, bro, I done made all this growth just off a piece of paper. You feel me? I don't even know where the paper at, but we still manifested it. We did what we said we were gonna do. And yeah, we here now.
Started from the bottom.
Ah. What do you guys feel that you do too much of? What's one thing that you feel that you're doing, and it might seem positive, but it's also hurting you at the same time?
Wait, what's something that we're doing that may seem positive to us, but is
Yeah. So we talked about doing too much, right? So for me, I was doing all that homework, quote unquote homework for my classes. And it was good for me mentally because I was like, okay, I don't have this monkey on my back. I can cruise. But it also took the discussion piece of the class out for me because I was already ahead of everybody else. So I didn't really enjoy it. I was more of just dreading the time and hoping it would go by faster. So in the end, it helped me, but it also hurt me at the same time.
okay. Something that I'm doing now is I'm spending a lot of time, we moved into a new place and I'm spending a lot of time trying to pick stuff out for the new place and trying to get things, right, the way I would like it. And I've been told that, I'm spending too much time on my feet, at these stores, picking this, picking that. But to me, it feels like, this is something that I should do now because, once it's done, once the stuff's here, there's no need to go back out and get more. Like once you pick out, good quality stuff and you check it out and you like it, it lasts and you don't have to do this again. So that's something I think that applies to what you're saying. It's something where I think I'm doing the right thing now, but it seems like it's hurting. Yeah.
Stop reflecting, because I am my biggest critic. So sometimes instead of, like Robert was saying, giving myself that credit, I will critique every little thing that doesn't necessarily need it. And then I get in my own head and I feel like maybe I'm not doing enough. And then that's where I start losing my balance. And then it kind of just like snowballs into everything else in my life instead of just riding the waves sometimes.
For me, I think something that I'm doing too much of that's hurting me is, that's a good question. I think overall, just wanting to learn so much. And I think there's a learning phase and then a doing phase. And so I think it's a lot simpler than it's made out to be. And sometimes when you try to be so deep, it's just, holding you back. So I think one thing that I'm doing too much of is I'm trying to do too much and then I end up doing too little because it's like trying to juggle all these different things. But now I have a plan. Like I have a better plan and I'm gonna start enacting that plan and moving forward and just, I'm in test phase now and see what happens, make adjustments, dive in, keep swimming down and hope that I grow gills, so that I could breathe underwater.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Tatiana about to say something about them gills.
I already said mine. Mine was with the school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So mine was with school. No, that's good though. What would you guys say? So as far as like some of your short-term goals right now, if you had to put a percentage on it of completion, what would be that percentage?
Of our short term or long term?
Short term. Long term.
100% for me. I just did a 17-hour drive. Don't play with me. My kneecaps are swollen. I could barely walk up the stairs.
Hey, bro.
All jacked up. 100%.
So moving to Texas was a short-term goal.
Yeah, and it was a big step because it was like, how do I explain it? I don't know. It was just, for me, it was like nerve-wracking. There was multiple times I was like, should we just turn around, go back on the highway, go back to Vegas? But we're here, a little homesick, but overall, everything's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Tati?
I'd say like 60-65%, somewhere in that range. Not 100% there, but time's a ticking, so I got to hurry up and do it now. Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
I would say 10 to 20% for me.
Short
Ooh.
term?
Really? For your short term.
Yeah.
That's low coming from you. I'm shocked. I need details. Go ahead.
Well,
Let me
so
know some.
the short term is like I kind of just I get in a place where I just let life happen. It is what it is. I have plans. And then at some point, if I start working on them, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I have plans. And I feel like with everything that's been happening recently, they kind of fell off track. And so I haven't been where I want it to be. And I haven't been on my schedule. So I just feel like a little off. So now it's about coming back better and stronger. And so I feel like I'm at 10 to 20% because it would be a disgrace to myself if I said I was at like 80 or 90 and this is what I'm doing. So, like if I only have 20% to grow, then I feel like I'm a loser. Like this is 80%, this ain't nothing. Like this is beneath you almost. So it's like,
Dang.
it's a disgrace where I'm at right now.
Would
and
you
with
say
the
you
work
might
I'm
be
putting
being
in.
too hard on yourself because you do have a lot going on, and it's good to take a break at times and recharge your batteries?
I don't feel like I'm being too hard on myself because it's not about me, it's about my goals. Like if I set goals, those are something, it's like raising a kid, like I can't say, oh, I have a kid, but because I'm going through something now, I can be a bad parent. It's like, no, I still have to honor that, like it's something sacred. It's not a game. So when you set goals, you say you're going to do something, then you mean it and you follow through on them. And so when you're not honoring that, then you have to be honest with yourself, and be like, I know what I'm capable of. And this ain't it. This falls below, like if you have a kid and you know that you're capable of being a good parent, but you've been abusing them and doing all this stuff. And then somebody's like, how good of a parent are you? And you like 80%. And they looking like, bruh, you just hit me because I asked for some Skittles, like that's, like you have more than 20% to grow. So I feel like, if you're honest about where you're at, then you can also be, when you're honest, when you're low, then nobody could tell you nothing when you're honest, when you're high. So that's why I don't trip when it's like, oh, you're arrogant, you're cocky. It's like, no, if I feel like I'm not living up to my standards, then I have to be honest with myself. But when I am living up to my standards, you're gonna know about it too, and it's probably gonna hurt you, But when I'm down low, it's like, oh well, haha. But then when I'm up here, it's like, oh, he's just saying that because he was given this or he has this and he has that. But it's like, it works both ways.
Wait, can you restate the question?
I said, what if you had to put a percentage on your short-term goals, what would that be?
Like completion of goals, right?
Yeah.
And then but you're talking about growth.
Well, Fitz feels like he's at a 10 to 20% on his short-term goals. Now, that could be anything that he wants to do. So for me, I probably say I'm at like 5% right now. So I understand what he's saying. Because once I meet more short-term goals or whatever I'm doing, my percentage goes back to zero. So we start all over again.
Right.
So it's ever evolving. So for me right now, we're shifting a little bit to the long-term goals. But for the short-term goals, it's about 5% because now we're starting back up. So I understand what he means by the growth aspect, because I'm not going to say I'm at 100%. Even though I completed what I said I was going to do, we back at 0 or 5% right now because we're making new goals, and my short-term goals are kind of mixed in with my long-term goals. So, yeah.
So can we all be at different points in our cycles?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this
It's your journey.
No, that's
Fine.
not.
It's
No,
your
that's
journey.
not what.
Gave me some clarity though, because now I do have new short-term goals, like the ones I did have, I completed.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
at 100 because I did that.
No,
Well, yeah, you could be at you could be at 100
I
right
got
now.
goals that I'm just starting. So
Yeah, you're just starting though. You can still be at 100. You can still be at 100 for completion. Like you're in that stage of where you're about to transition over to a 0 now because you're gonna start on these new goals.
right, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. My 100 thing because I'm.
Yeah, you good. You good. So you talk to your 100, you good too.
I was like, wait
No,
a minute.
I mean, it's not that I didn't think I was good. I just thought I misunderstood the question because then you
Right.
started talking about growth,
right.
and I thought the question was, what is your completion of your current short-term goals that you have assigned to yourself, and not what is your percentage, like how much room do you have to grow? And I didn't think those two things were.
Well, they go hand in hand because what short term could be, it's different to everybody. It could be 6 months, 4 months. For Fitz, it could be 2 months. His long term goals could be 10 years. So whatever it is to you, your length. If your length is a month, then you're at a 65. You feel me? Like you're good. You're still climbing to that 100%. So no, you understand. you understood. You good.
I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand your response in terms of the question, which I now
think
have a better
he
understanding.
added
I
it
think.
in there, but they do go hand in.
Yeah, Fitz feels like he's still got some
He just doesn't.
growth to go to get to that 100% on his short term goals.
Okay, and you feel like if you ever start getting to so basically what you're saying is you have short-term goals that are set for whatever length of time, and you would feel you were just saying that you would feel ashamed if you said anything more than 5 or 10% or whatever number you gave, 10 to 15%, something like that, for your current progress on your current short-term goals.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fitz said he feels ashamed because he's not. It's not what he wants.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
so
he's not gonna say he's 100. He's not gonna say he's 80% because he's not.
right. So you had a different idea of where you would be at right now, or this is about where you should be right now, and you're just letting people know, like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all,
Yeah.
hey, if I lied to y'all, I feel ashamed. This is
Yeah.
where I'm at, and I'm gonna be honest and truthful because I would feel ashamed if I wasn't.
And both,
Yeah.
because he said
Oh,
he fell
okay,
off his
okay.
routine, so he didn't feel like he was doing all that he should have been doing.
And I just want to
Oh,
clarify.
so you feel like that you should be farther along on your short-term goals, but you're not.
It's not, and that's what I want to clarify on. When I set goals, I don't set them for achieving something. I set them for doing something. So the 10 to 20% is how much effort I'm putting in right now. Not, here's how I'm
Right.
20%
Done
of the
with your
way
list.
to, of completing it. It's I'm operating at 20% of like what I'm capable of operating at, but not, reaching that goal just effort wise. This is
Right.
the effort that I feel like I'm putting in right now.
That's a different question though, right? Like that's like how much effort are you putting in towards your goals? Oh, 20%, 100%, 50%.
Well,
I
he
mean,
just talked about
it could still be the same.
response, but it's still the same
It's still the
Yeah.
same.
question. Yeah.
But people make goals in different ways.
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
some people make goals like
Everybody
if I hit
should.
this number, then that means I'm doing it.
So your
I make
goal,
goals based on effort.
so your goal is actually to give a certain amount of effort.
Correct.
Okay, and so by saying that you're currently at 10 to 20%, you're saying that your effort level is currently 10 to 20%, which
Yes.
is shameful to you because that's your goal is to be at 100%. So you should be at 100%, but you're at 10 to 20% for whatever reason. And
Correct. I wrote what I wanted to do down. I wrote the activities down. I'm not doing those activities.
Right. So you
So
have
now
like
I'm
you have a set
effort-wise.
list of goals, but the amount of effort you're putting towards achieving those goals, that's the ultimate short-term goal. And the
Yes.
little things that you have listed out are more like subtask,
Yes.
and they're not actually the goal. The goal is to give 100% effort towards completing those tasks at all
Correct.
times.
Yes.
That effort,
So
that
wow.
high effort is what keeps you going. Though.
I know we
Why
finna
do
run out on time. I got one more question. So since we're talking about, not doing enough versus doing too much, what is one thing that you want to do more of and one thing you want to do less of? Just with like in the next month or next couple weeks or the day, whatever it looks like to you all.
I want to go raptor hunting for the first time.
Okay, so I want to stop stressing and worrying more. Worrying less, because I do a lot of it. Like, you have no idea. Because they was on your head. They was flaming.
Not me, Ty.
They was on my head?
They was on it, girl. They was clowning. But I want to stop stressing and just letting it be what it is. Like, I feel like that's one of the biggest lessons I can learn. There's only so much, so much I could do and so much in my control. So that's the big one for me right now.
What's one thing you want to do more of?
Just letting it flow and knowing that, I'm doing what I have to do in order to make sure things are good, and just some things are just out of my control, but I'm gonna be all right regardless.
So less stress and finding a sweet spot. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Tatiana? What do you want to do? What do you want to do more of, and what is one thing you want to do less of? It could be business-wise, it can be mentally, emotionally, whatever.
One thing I want to do more of is just focus on myself and trust in myself and trust that I know what I'm doing, and regardless of what other people say, I know I'm not stupid.
You're not a raptor.
Yes, that too. I'm not dumb. Actually, raptors were recorded to be very intelligent, one of the smartest dinosaurs ever. But anyway, right, not a raptor.
Strong genes.
Why you say that? Why you say that? Why do you say such?
Is that what you're gonna dress up as Halloween? I'm sorry, I had to get it out, bro.
What's one thing that you want to improve on?
Yeah,
right.
What's one thing
that's on camera? Y'all see now. Y'all see. One thing I want to do less of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing I want to do less of is be so very much so influenced by the voices around me, because again, I think my voice is good. I think it is nice. Yeah. I think it is very good again. Yes. And I think I should listen to that voice. And I want to do less of being so heavily influenced by the voices around me and allowing myself to be led instead of leading.
There you go.
That's good. I like that part.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Allowing yourself to be led.
She says she wants to do less of being led and be more of a leader.
Oh, less of allowing to be led.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be more of a leader. Yeah, that's good. That's good. What about you, Fitz?
I thought you already said it. I thought you wanted to go raptor hunting.
That was
just more of.
that was just a little jab, not anyone particular.
Oh, but you keep tapping me.
I'm not tapping you.
Well, Robert's living in the jungle. He's got an elk and a raptor next to him. So.
Let's not get you.
But anyways, Fitz, what's up with you?
In all seriousness, one thing that I want to do more of, just to wrap it up, is
well, no, because Ty gotta go next.
Are you doing all that with the rap?
I'm just
rap short for raptor now. What
nah,
this? You know raptors are extinct, right?
Robert, one thing you want to improve on and one thing you want to do less of.
Just to wrap it up, one thing that I want to do more of is I want to be more focused.
Do you now?
Yeah, I want to be more focused. I want to start exercising a little more.
Oh, wow.
I'm a hunter. I have good hearing, eyesight, all of that. Okay. And just enjoy the Texas fields, roam around, and just hike.
Take some photos.
Mhm.
Don't let
On
that
the
scorpion
scavenger
crawl up
hunt.
your leg and stick you in the butt.
Ty,
Just
what's
get-
one thing you want to improve on and one thing you want to do less of?
Mhm.
Yes.
Watch out for the snakes in the water.
I think one thing I want to improve on is master of self. So I've been trying to work on mastering my emotions, mastering certain things that kind of play a role in how my life is overall affected. So, stressing, doubting those things. I don't really let those in. I probably say I'm at 75%. Sometimes I'm like, I get in my head, but then I bounce back. So definitely trying to master that. One thing I want to do less of. I don't know at this point. Most of the time, I just hang out and chill. I'm pretty much doing what I want to do at this point. I ain't listening to nobody. I'm doing exactly what I want to do and live my life how I want to live it. So
That's a
I
beautiful.
probably say being around negative people. So this week in particular, I've encountered a few individuals that not in this room, so nobody take no heat. A few individuals who don't necessarily, they haven't dealt with themselves. So, we talked about podcasts ago about looking in the mirror, and people don't want to look in the mirror sometimes, and now they're forced to, and they kind of take that out on me because they want advice, but then the advice is not exactly what they want it to be. For me, I'm a straight shooter, I'm blunt, I'm forward, and I feel like we have control over our lives to an extent. We can't control some things that happen, but our decisions are based off what we do, the way we think, the way we act, interact with people. So definitely try to get rid of people who just bring the negativity, man. I understand people have their days and all that stuff, but at the same time, if you're not dealing with your trauma on the inside, then that's your fault. I believe in that 100%. Even with my career that I do social work, most of the time, people's issues are because of themselves. Sometimes it's out of control, sometimes it's in their control, but definitely try to get rid of people who, or maybe distance myself from people who don't necessarily have the mental stability right now, and conserve my energy for the people who do.
Like us.
Right. You don't get no better than this three right here.
Maybe not Shalisha, but
Boy, I'm the cherry on top of the cake. Stop playing with me.
All right. Y'all got anything else? You think we did a good job?
an expired cherry, but yeah.
I'm a fresh cherry.
From the bottom, getting it out the mud. Show us
Go
love.
ahead. Yeah. Because
Make-
last week we didn't get that full thing. We didn't get the full thing.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the creators of the emojis. We need a raptor emoji ASAP.
And an elk.
Support.
I think there is an elk.
Is there?
It might be.
You or Robert.
You.
You or Robert.
Who's
For
right?
what?
You or Fitz.
From the bottom
Support.
podcast.
We out of here.
Go subscribe.